I need to stop agreeing to give these speeches because I keep hearing, oh, who do I have to follow? Like what? Like, I'm not nearly as good of a giver of speech. So let me pull out my notes because I'm a rookie. And like many of you, I am pretty sleep deprived, so I would not rely on my memory right now. But I would like to talk a bit about picking up where the last speaker left. Why, as a student, I'm a green. And I think one of the best ways for me to outline it is to really dedicate the speech to a good friend of mine, someone who's really kept me motivated to be in politics, and she's going in her junior year of college along with me. She's in my grade and my university. She's about to have a child, and she's $42,000 in student loan debt. Thanks to federal and state cuts, she's lost about $1,000 worth of grants for next year's, while tuition has gone up $1,000, and thus has to take out even more student loans if she's going to continue college. Her ability to have health care for her and her child is uncertain, in large part because of my lovely Governor Walker's cutting of Badger Care. And if she finishes her college degree, as we all know, there won't be any decent paying union jobs waiting for her at this rate. So we students, we get the issues. These are not philosophical debates for us. We are not, as are commonly called, youngsters with our head in the air. If we don't do something now, our future is gone. This is the tipping point. Whether we accept a future of servitude to corporate profits with no freedom of our own to pursue our hopes and dreams, or we draw the line in the sand now, because we know enough is enough. Yeah. Student loan debt has surpassed $1 trillion. Government funding to education institutions is an all-time low. Tuition is skyrocketing. My TAs are eligible for food stamps. My university's tuition has quadrupled in the past 20 years, and we're considered one of the cheaper universities. These were all things that many students were aware of when Governor Scott Walker declared his so-called budget repair bill spring last year. I'm sure many of you are very aware of that. Yes, please boo that man. We should boo him enough that he can hear us in Wisconsin, except he's probably not in Wisconsin. Yeah. He probably is somewhere around here fundraising with wealthy people instead of being in my state. So, I'm proud to say that students, high school and college, were really the heart of the occupation of the Capitol. And I personally witnessed thousands of undergraduate students walk out of their classes to go to the Capitol. I saw TAs hold their classes in the Capitol. Most inspiring of all, I saw high school students, thousands of them from all over Wisconsin, walk out of their school, which was effectively a student strike. And not only that, that enabled the sick out that the Madison teachers had, where they, refused to teach and went to protest. So really, just another example of when students and labor come together, anything is possible. And the first night we occupied, when I was there, it was TAs, undergraduates, and high school students holding down the fort. We knew what was on the line. We knew that the workplace conditions for our educators were our learning conditions. We knew that the workers' current conditions are our future conditions. We knew exactly how insidious and predatory the student loan industry was, and we had to take a stand. The solidarity, the understanding that all struggles are intertwined is what made the Capitol protests and the occupation successful, is what made them so inspiring. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that the occupation and the solidarity inspired was a key spark for the Occupy movement. As they say, there are a lot of hipsters in Madison, and we occupied before it was cool. So, but fast forward a year, and what happened? Scott Walker is still in office. Unions don't have collective bargaining. Yes, please boo Scott Walker again. I'm really enjoying that. I'd rather listen to that than give a speech. Thank you. So unions do not have collective bargaining. He successfully passed legislation. My own university, a so-called university that claims to have progressive values, is trying to crush the local unions. At Dane County, fortunately, where I was elected, in part because Dane County has been fortunate enough to have multiple elected third-party and Greens, we are committed. We're committed to upholding collective bargaining, and we will be pushing to codify the workplace rights unions have earned into ordinance. So, So who's to blame for this outcome? The blame lies, in my opinion, solely at the Democrats' feet. This was their race to lose. They co-opted a movement. They told us to fall back to the election routine. They offered us their two frontier candidates, a union-busting, social service-cutting corporatist and a union-busting, social service-cutting corporatist. Yeah. And they ran one of the worst campaigns I've ever seen statewide. They didn't even talk about the issue that got this movement started, the right to economic democracy, the right to collectively bargain. They tried to appeal to swings, but they didn't realize in an election like this, you don't win by appealing to a smaller and smaller pie of the electorate that can't seem to make up their minds in elections. You win by building a movement with an electoral arm. The Democrats failed to be the electoral arm of a progressive, pro-labor, pro-student movement. That's why I'm here, because this is that party. Yeah. Today, we have a presidential candidate that is committed to forgiving all student debt. You know, President Obama, on the other hand, talks a big talk about stopping Republicans from doubling interest rates. You know, Obama, you defended the status quo from some Republicans. You know, that's really a major accomplishment. That's really, you know, progress. We, on the other hand, have a presidential candidate that believes in our educators' workplace rights, not one who talks a big talk about standing with workers and never delivers. We have a presidential candidate that believes higher education is a right. In this economy, it's now or never. Either we make education accessible to all, no tuition, a fully funded public education system, unionize teachers, graduate workers, and professors, and create a living wage, dignified, and sustainable jobs for all, or we complete our system of indentured servitude of the 99% for the 1% as delivered by the Democrats and Republicans. And I'll wrap up very quickly and say that students are very aware of this. Students know this. We grew up under Bush, and we saw the failure that was Obama. The Green Party ensures that we have a vote that matches our conscience and our interests. The Green Party expands the choice beyond a corporatist and a corporatist. The Green Party literally moves this country closer to democracy by offering us a choice. And we students, and we Wisconsinites, we know a little something about what real democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Thank you.